Hello, thanks for tuning in. Today I want to talk about the symptoms of psychosis more in depth than I did in my last video. My intention is to create more awareness of schizophrenia and schizoaffective disorder, which is what I'm living with, but psychosis can occur in many mental disorders, such as bipolar and psychotic depression, just to name a couple more. So today I'm going to cover hallucinations, delusions, and disorganized thoughts/speech because they go in tandem together. So hallucinations are false sensory info, so you see or hear something that nobody else does. So there are 5 types of hallucinations. Auditory, which is hearing things that nobody else hears, such as voices. Visual, which is seeing things, such as patterns, lights, or people. Olfactory, which is smelling things, such as a bad smell that you just can't place. Gustatory, which is tasting things, such as a metallic taste is apparently a common one. And tactile, which means feeling something on your skin, such as bugs crawling. So delusions are false fixed beliefs, which means they don't change even when evidence is presented against them. Delusions can be broken down into 6 types. The first one is persecutory delusions, which means that you believe somebody or some agency or something is out to get you. So that's one of the most common persecutory delusions. And that's actually the classic, paranoid delusion, where, you think people are out to get you, that's like the stereotypical delusion. The next is referential delusion, which means that you believe that there's a hidden message in something like song lyrics, or you believe that a person on TV is talking directly to you, that kind of thing. Then there's somatic delusions, which involve the body. So, for example, thinking that you have some kind of terrible illness without any evidence, or that your insides have been damaged by cosmic rays. Erotomantic delusions means that it has to do with a relationship, such as believing that a celebrity is in love with you, or that your partner is cheating on you. Religious delusions are exactly what they sound like, which, for example, is when you believe that you're possessed by a demon, or that God is talking directly to you. And grandiose delusions are the last one, and this means that you believe that you are somebody of great importance, such as a celebrity or a politician. I found all of these examples and these explanations for hallucinations and delusions in an article online. I will link it in the description in case you want to read more on that article. So disorganized speech and disorganized thinking, they go in tandem because disorganized thinking is thought to be manifest in disorganized speech. So for this as well, I found an article online with explanations and examples, and so I will link that for you below. So the first one, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's Alogia, I think, and it means poverty of speech. So it means difficulty speaking spontaneously and also giving short replies. So an example for this is when somebody asks you, would you like to buy some hair conditioner? And then your response would be, hair's dry. So the next one is derailment, which means you get more and more off track as you talk, even if your ideas that you're talking about are loosely related. Eventually you just kind of end up not where you started. So an example is a few sentences. I went to the market today to get milk. They don't process milk like they used to. People are too caught up in technology now. I had a camera once that I didn't use because of how advanced it was. The next type of disorganized speech is called clanging, which means that words are chosen based on relative sounds and rhyming type of thing. So an example is, I enjoy learning to bake to cake to make. So word salad is kind of exactly what it sounds like. It's when the words chosen don't make sense. Basically when you're spouting words, no word nonsense, right? They might be somewhat connected, they might not be. Or they might be incomplete sentences. Basically, it's very difficult to understand. It's incomprehensible, essentially. So an example is trees, summer, green, I, gardening, summer, sunset, best time. Neologism is when you invent new words or phrases as you're talking. An example is, I would have done that, but the Flugenhens got in the Scharn. Then there's word approximation, which I think everybody's done to some extent at one point or another. I know I have. That means that you kind of use words in unconventional ways, to describe stuff. So example would be calling a hammer a nail pounder. Because I know that I do that when I lose the word for something and I just I describe it. I call it by something that describes it instead. I've never used nail pounder, but I think that one sounds kind of cool, honestly. And the last one is Echolalia, which means that you repeat part of a person's sentence or question instead of creating your own response. So example would be, have you heard the train whistle lately? And then your response would be, train whistle lately? So disorganized speech, like I said, is a manifestation of disorganized thoughts, but it isn't a disorder itself. It's simply a symptom. However, it can also present as disorganized behavior in a few ways, including atypical communication patterns, responding externally to internal stimuli, such as laughing to yourself or talking out loud to yourself. I know I do that. Purposeless movements, agitation, inappropriate behaviors, disheveled appearance. I'm guilty of that one myself. Decreased reactivity and engagement with the environment. Unpredictable or repetitive movements. Again, I do that one. Mimicking. And poor concentration. That was a lot to process, I know, but I thought it would be very cool to do a video like this, just to give a little more information on kind of what goes into psychosis, kind of what it comprises of. So on this channel, I've been talking a lot about mental health, and if you're interested in that kind of thing, feel free to subscribe. I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.